Hello, writers and readers. I'm freelance fiction editor Miranda Darrow, here with my weekly video about writing, editing, and the writing life. This month, we're talking about using tropes in your writing for any type of genre. To kick off the month, here's our writing craft tips video about tropes. How to use tropes like a pro without feeling like you sold out to the algorithm. Every fiction author eventually hits the tropes conversation, usually while doom scrolling, writing Twitter at 1 a.m., or staring down a first draft wondering, is this too cliche, or is this just deliciously familiar? Good news! Tropes are not your enemy. They are not creativity killers. They are GPS coordinates that help readers find you and love you and sing the praises of your work to their friends. Tropes are fundamentally storytelling patterns, and patterns are powerful. So let's break down how tropes actually function, common ones across major genres, and how to use them in your writing without losing the originality that makes readers remember you. Let's start with why tropes matter and why your readers secretly crave them. Imagine walking into an ice cream shop and the menu board says, flavors, mystery, just mystery. You'd leave, right? Because while you want to be surprised, you also want to know what you're getting into. Readers are the same. Tropes help. First, they signal the genre, the tone, and the vibe. If your romantasy has enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine, one bed, readers know exactly what emotional journey they're signing up for and whether they're ready to throw money at you. Number two, these create reader trust. When you deliver a trope well, readers relax. They know they're in good hands. They're also more likely to binge your backlist because they trust that you will deliver again. Number three, it helps establish your brand. Tropes are one of the fastest ways to communicate your brand identity. Do you write cozy, slow burn queer romances, sharply plotted thrillers with morally messy detectives, epic sci-fi with found families? Tropes clarify your lane. Number four, make stories emotionally satisfying. Tropes are emotional triggers, not in a bad way, more like this hits me right in the narrative pleasure centers. I've heard tropes described as triggering our id from the superego, ego, id. It's the pleasure center of our brains that we seek to trigger again and again, sometimes without conscious thought. It's a very powerful motivating force. And I have found this with tropes that I really like too, and I seek out things in them. And you'll get my reading list on one of my favorite tropes next week. All right, how to use tropes without feeling formulaic. Tropes aren't the formula, they're a framework. Think of them as writing scaffolding. They support your creativity, but they should not be the whole building. You should use them intentionally. First, start with your characters, not the trope. You're not writing a secret baby story. You're writing two characters whose emotional worlds collide in a scenario most commonly recognized as the secret baby trope. Character depth plus trope is the magic. Number two, subvert, twist, or layer tropes. Take a familiar trope. Ask, what's the obvious version? Cool. Now, what's unexpected? Some examples. Enemies to lovers. They hate each other because they're too similar rather than opposites. The chosen one. They were chosen by accident. Ah, I like that too. Amateur sleuth. They don't want to solve the mystery, but keep stumbling into clues. Number three, combine tropes for extra flavor. A single trope signals genre. Two tropes signal a subgenre. Three tropes, you've created an irresistible, book-talkable pitch. Number four, remember, the trope is not the story. The trope is a promise. The story is how you fulfill the promise in an emotionally satisfying, voice-driven, character-centered way. Some popular tropes by genre, a quick reference guide that you can use in your next draft. I have much longer lists of many of these, but here are just some highlights in case you're thinking, oh, only romance has tropes. But first, let's start with romance and romantasy. Some common tropes are enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, grumpy sunshine, one of my favorites, fake dating, forced proximity, oh no, there's only one bed, soulmates, forbidden romance, second chance romance, hidden identity, and the hero falls first, and so many more. Next week's list of book recommendations are all from one trope that isn't listed here, but one of my absolute favorites. And you'll need to watch that video to figure out what trope I'm featuring in my list next week. Why readers like them, emotional tension and predictability lead to a satisfying payoff. But that's just romance. That's not other genres. Well, what about mystery and thrillers? We have amateur sleuths, detective with a haunted past, locked room mysteries. I love that one. I did a whole list of locked room mysteries. Small towns full of secrets. Everyone's a liar narratives. Red herring overload. The wrongly accused protagonist. And a cat and mouse game with the killer. Dual timeline mysteries. Secret identity of the villain. Why readers love these? It's pattern recognition and puzzle solving. So it leads to reader satisfaction. Fantasy has its tropes. The chosen one. A prophecy. Found family. Hidden royalty. Oh, we didn't know. Ancient evil returns. A reluctant hero. An enchanted object of doom. An apprenticeship or a mentor's death. Sorry, Gandalf and Obi-Wan. A quest with mismatched companions. and the monster is not actually the monster. Why readers love them, mythic resonance, and emotional archetypes. How about science fiction? There's plenty of science fiction tropes too. The AI rebellion. I've written a whole list about AI books. First contact, dystopian surveillance state, time loops, space exploration gone wrong, corporate controlled futures, body modification. Oof, those are chilling. Post-apocalyptic rebuild, alien invasion, but make it political, alternate timeline divergent, a lot of alt histories. I love those. I have a list of those too. Why readers love them. Big ideas and what if scenarios that test human nature. And finally, some tropes for horror. There's the final girl, the cabin in the woods, a haunted object. It was here all along. Body horror. I really can't stand body horror. Cult in the woods. There's always a cult in the woods. Monsters as a metaphor. The call is coming from inside the building. Love that one. Descent into madness. Cosmic horror. And why readers love them? Fear and catharsis. How tropes attract your ideal reader and ease your marketing. Tropes aren't just craft tools, they're marketing gold. They help you pitch clearly. A cozy mystery featuring a baker who keeps finding dead bodies sells more than small town mystery with quirky vibes because it's more specific. They help readers self-select. Readers want what readers want. Give them the breadcrumb trail to find you. They will help algorithmic discoverability. Your tropes become keywords. Your keywords become metadata. Your metadata becomes visibility. And visibility is really the name of the game. Here are some writing exercises to strengthen your trope usage. First, the inversion exercise. Take a trope that you love, flip one key element, and write a scene where the new version plays out. But make sure you're still delivering the same emotional experience for readers, as flipping the trope is not the same as destroying it. Show readers something new and unique, but that still delivers on the emotional journey that readers crave. Number two, the trope web. Pick 3 tropes from your genre, combine them into a single story idea in one paragraph. Boom, you've got a pitch. Number 3, emotional core mapping. Ask, what emotional promise does this trope deliver? And write a scene that hits the emotion in a fresh way. Some closing thoughts. Tropes are tools, not chains. Tropes are not the enemy of originality. They are the entry point, the familiar doorway through which readers can enter your world. And once the readers are inside, that's where your voice and your characters and your craft take over. Use tropes boldly. Use them purposefully. Use them to connect with the exact readers who will love what you are writing. And above all, write the story that only you can write, and let the tropes be the scaffolding, not the ceiling. I often present to writing groups on tropes with longer presentations and content more specific to certain genres. And I talk about ways you can use the tropes before, during, and after writing your novel. So be sure to follow me on social media or join my mailing list for details on an upcoming class on tropes that I'm going to be rolling out very soon. This is just a teaser for this very fun topic. Okay, that's our video for the week. I am freelance fiction editor Miranda Darrow, reminding you to watch this YouTube channel for new videos every week about writing, editing, and the writing life. Next week's video is a book recommendation list with all books using one of my very favorite romance tropes that wasn't mentioned. You'll need to tune in to find out what it is. If you want to join my mailing list, you can go to my website, www.mirandadarrow.com. And later this month, we're actually going to be doing a novel deep dive on Abby Jimenez's Only for the Summer to show how that story has incorporated the central trope and how it drove the plot and the characters' growth arcs. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and share. This is Miranda Darrow wishing you happy writing.